Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into a really critical transition, something a lot of people struggle with. How you move from a deep personal faith into real public action.
Yeah, and the lesson that frames this whole thing is called Looking Up to Jesus and Going Towards the Masses.
Which is a great title.
It is. And for you, the learner, the source material here is just so clear. It's got this three-tiered structure that's perfect for breaking things down. You get the original text, the what happened,
Okay.
and you get the connection to the current era, which is the so what,
Yeah.
and finally the personal takeaway, which is, the for you. It's incredibly organized.
And that structure is really our mission today. We want to understand the actual costs of discipleship, look at the risk and reward of engaging with the world, and I think this is the most important part, pinpoint the traps that stop people from putting theory into practice.
Exactly.
So let's start with that first big hurdle. What's the real cost of following?
Well, the first thing, when Jesus called those first disciples by the Sea of Galilee, it was so practical. It wasn't, an invitation to some weekend retreat.
Right.
The source really zeroes in on the fact that Peter, John, and James had to abandon their boats. And that boat wasn't just like a piece of equipment. It was everything. It was the family's entire economic engine.
Oh, you hear it summarized as they left their nets, but you're saying it's so much bigger than that. It's not just changing careers.
No, not at all. It's giving up your livelihood, your assets, your whole professional identity, everything you've built. And for what? To follow a carpenter's son.
You're putting down your life's work.
That's it. The source calls it putting down the old self and skill. Fishing was their expertise. Their whole identity was wrapped up in knowing the weather, the seasons, the trade. To put down the boat means your old life is no longer your security.
And Peter gets it, right? The moment he sees the miracle, he says, "Lord, I am a sinner." He realizes this isn't just a career change.
Exactly. It's a total surrender. It's not about finding a better job. It's recognizing a power that completely dwarfs your own skill.
So it's not, "I'll follow, but let me keep my boat just in case."
No, you can't. The source argues that if you're trying to resolve every worldly affair or keep your old safety nets, you've missed the point. You're constantly looking backward. The mission demands you look forward.
Okay, so if the first sacrifice is leaving the boat, your security, the second one is leaving the comfort zone. And this is symbolized by the tents on the mountain.
Right, from the Mount of Transfiguration. Peter sees this incredible vision, this spiritual high, and what's his first instinct?
Well, let's build some tents. For Jesus, Moses, Elijah. Let's stay here.
It is good to be here. His heart was in the right place, probably, but he wanted to stay put. The mountain is comfort, it's safety, it's away from all the chaos down in the valley, and you have to be willing to leave it.
And this is where the source makes a connection that honestly is pretty challenging for us today. It talks about fortunate Christians.
Yes, specifically in places like Taiwan, where there's no official religious persecution, there's freedom, there's comfort.
And that comfort becomes the modern-day tent on the mountain.
It does, because if your spiritual life has no external pressure, it's so easy to get complacent. You start to think, well, I can just relax, wait for heaven, and avoid all the messy stuff.
It's a perfect analogy. I mean, think about your job. If you went to work and your boss said, "Look, great salary, unlimited vacation, and by the way, there are 0 KPIs, no pressure at all."
Would you still grind? Would you still innovate?
Probably not. I'd coast. And the source says that spiritual complacency, born from that comfortable tent, is maybe one of the biggest threats to real discipleship. It just kills the urgency.
Which brings us to the ultimate requirement. Because the call to follow starts with if. Luke 9:23. If anyone desires to come after me. It's a choice.
But if you make that choice,
There's a price. Let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. The cross is the required price. It's the daily cost of admission. You wouldn't buy a house without understanding the mortgage.
you can't choose this path without accepting the cost. But once you do, once you've left the boat and the mountain, now you're ready for action. Now you go towards the masses.
And this is where it gets framed as an adventure, but a really risky one. Because going into the crowd, into the world, is often described as stepping into darkness.
A hostile environment.
A very hostile environment. The risk is contamination. The source uses this specific phrase that means something like to wallow in the same mire. The fear is that you'll be compromised, pulled down by the very darkness you're trying to reach.
That sounds, frankly terrifying. How do you balance that? The mandate to go out versus the need to protect yourself?
Well, the source acknowledges you can't avoid it. We're told to be sheep among wolves, there's going to be conflict. The analogy it uses is learning to drive. You don't start with a brand new $80,000 car, do you? You start with a cheap practice vehicle. Why? Because you expect to make mistakes. You know, you're gonna get some scrapes, some bumps.
You accept that as part of the process.
Right. And moving into the masses means accepting that spiritual scrapes are going to happen. It's just part of learning.
But the whole reason for taking that risk is the reward. It's the chance to bring the light into that darkness. If you don't risk the scrapes, you guarantee isolation.
Exactly. If you stay in the tent, nobody hears the message. And the source gives this really vivid example of transformation with something as simple as holiday traditions.
Oh, the mahjong example.
Yes. In some communities, holidays mean 5 or 6 straight days of non-stop mahjong or gambling.
I can just picture that. The exhaustion, the arguments over money, the lost family time. It's a cycle.
It's kind of darkness they've just gotten used to. But when followers engage, they can model something different, something actually freeing. They show a way to connect that's more genuine.
And it's not about judging the gambling. It's about showing something so much better that people themselves realize, oh, this is actually life-giving.
That's the reward.
Yeah.
Watching people step out of a tradition that was a prison and into real freedom, that's the payoff.
So this transition from knowing you should go out to actually doing it, this is where so many people get stuck. The source uses a great term for it. It's like getting stuck on a level in a video game. And it outlines 4 models of church development that become traps.
Yeah, this part is brilliant. The first trap is the saddest, I think.
Yeah.
The no quantity, no quality church.
No members and no mission.
Right. And the reason people stay isn't because of the doctrine. It's emotional. It's my ancestors are buried here, or I grew up in this building.
So you're tied to a declining institution even though you know your own kids won't stay there.
Exactly. Then you have trap 2. This one is all about the numbers, the quantity but not quality church. The source calls it self-sufficiency.
It's all about growth, metrics, KPIs. The organization gets bloated, but it's spiritually wit. Superficially fat is the phrase.
And this is where that incredible detail comes in. The group leader, who was also a lottery ringleader.
It's just an unbelievable story. He's using his wealth, which comes from an activity totally against the faith, to literally buy attendance and then tell the pastor, I contribute more than you do.
It's so corrosive because it makes the church a marketplace. People start selling insurance or financial products in the fellowship hall. The numbers are high, but the spiritual core is completely hollowed out.
Which leads to the opposite problem. Trap 3, quality but not quantity. Self-preservation.
The echo chamber.
Right. This group is focused inward. They prioritize their own comfort and stability over everything else.
They're afraid of the chaos of growth. They literally say things like, it'll be too noisy, or parking will be a nightmare.
But they'd argue they're protecting the quality, right? They're keeping the teaching pure.
But they confuse sophistication with salvation. They become this exclusive club that starts judging newcomers on, their job or their education. They worry that outsiders will lower the temperament of the group.
So they've defined their mission as filtering people out, not bringing them in.
And that suffocates the very quality they claim to be protecting. Which, of course, brings us to the goal, the healthy model. It balances both, quality building people up spiritually and quantity joyfully spreading the message. The church should be for sinners, not an elite club run by corporate metrics.
Which brings it all back to the individual. If we know the traps, what does an active follower actually do? The source gives us 3 great ship analogies.
Analogy 1 is the good fishing boat crew member. And this requires professional skills, knowledge of sailing, the weather, all of it.
The point being, you can't stay a spiritual infant forever. You can't just be a passenger for 10 years and never lift a finger. You're just ballast at that point.
Ballast. Exactly. You're expected to develop new skills in service to the mission.
Then there's analogy 2, the good cruise ship crew member. And this is all about hospitality.
It's pure attitude. Cruise ship staff are so enthusiastic because people have paid good money for that experience. We as followers need to have that same genuine warmth. It shouldn't matter if a visitor likes the sermon or not. Your job is to make them feel like family.
An intentional, passionate effort. And finally, the third one, which is maybe the most realistic, the Ark. Noah's big boat.
Yeah, and the source is pretty funny here. It reminds us that life on the Ark was messy.
It smelled bad.
It smelled bad. You have animal droppings, limited supplies, tons of rules. It was not comfortable.
But the point isn't to fix the smell, it's to accept the smell as part of survival.
Yes. Despite all the imperfections and the fact that everyone inside is a flawed sinner, the ark meant survival. It meant life. The lesson is, don't demand perfection. If you expect everyone else to be an angel, or for the community to be flawless, you'll never find a place to belong. You accept the mess because the ark keeps you safe.
So this whole deep dive really comes back to that central command, looking up to Jesus and going towards the masses. It means leaving security, leaving comfort, risking the scrapes, all to share a genuine testimony.
And that act of sharing is supposed to lead to this final, really provocative idea. The source calls it a spiritual encounter.
That sounds pretty theological. What does it mean for you, the listener?
It's more than just a meeting, more than a handshake. The source defines it as a deep spiritual alignment, a true synchronization between two souls. It's that moment when someone truly hears the message you're living and it clicks. It aligns perfectly with a need deep inside them.
So it's not a transaction, it's resonance.
It is. The speaker in the source uses his wife as an example. He says he doesn't shake her hand in public, not because they're fighting, but because their spiritual alignment is so deep, it's beyond any casual public gesture. And that is the depth of connection we should be trying to create for others.
And that really is the final challenge for you listening. If real discipleship means moving out of your comfort zone and into the messy world, how are your actions? How is your genuine testimony creating that kind of spiritual encounter for other people? How are you letting them experience that alignment, that grace? It's something to think about